Sorry, can you hear me? Because I think my microphone was the wrong microphone for a second. My computer kept on. You can hear me now. Okay, great. Yeah, sorry. No, I was just saying. I wonder if bag of beans actually is like an item in D&D. I know nothing else about the game. All I know is that you roleplay, and there's a red dragon, and you can be a character, and I guess you can get items. I just thought that the items were like things that the DM dreams up, right? It's a wondrous itme? That's actually absurd. What does it do? Wait, does it grow a giant beanstalk? I could see that being what it is. Liam.
Welcome to the stream.
That's me saying that to you. Welcome me. Hey, kia ora, Mossab. How good to see you, mate. Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing very, very well. Very, very well. Wee bit tired. What can you do? So this is gonna be weird. I hope that my computer does all right. You plant a bean, it can turn into anything from a giant beanstalk or a fountain of berry juice, or a tree creature, or a boulder. You're hungry with nothing to eat. Is it Ramadan again? Because if so, that would be very, very fortunate timing. Boys and girls. Or eggs. What? I am hungry with nothing to eat. Reminds me of, I have no mouth and I must scream. No? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Go grab a... You know, get your bread out and then just eat the crusts, because after a while you'll no longer want to eat them. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Or a statue of yourself, so yes, a boulder. Well, there you go. It works. Okay, let's minimize... No. You're gonna do that? Yeah, do it, mate, do it. It makes you very much not want to eat it, you know. Wait, what am I doing? I don't need to do this. Just do this. Bring that back out. Also, the boulders talk and insult you. You're making this sound like fantastic. How do I pop this out? I know that I can. Oh man, how do I pop out my chat? Get out of here, chat settings. Chat highlights. Nope, that's not right either. Ah, well. Hey, there we go. I figured it out. No, wait, did I? No, I didn't. Ah, well. Am I on the menu? Stop it. Also, no, absolutely not. Never say that again, please. Kia ora, Liam. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing great.
Oh, it must be down here.
I'm doing all the dishes that accumulated.
Nice. And you put on your headset so you could talk, eh? Oh, what a nice fellow. Yes. How do I pop this out, man?
I don't know how long I'll actually be here, but...
Oh, yeah? What's today look like for you?
I got nothing, honestly.
Oh.
But if Turkin's streaming Pikmin, I'll probably jump over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand. Not happy with it, but I understand. How do I... there is a way to pop out chat. I know that there's a way to get, like, a chat box separate.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cheat.
I just go to my own, like, Twitch.
Oh, I get ads.
You get ads for yourself.
Yeah, well, I guess I am in incognito mode.
So funny.
This ad is so bad. I dislike that ad. Okay, there we go.
Ads like, or do you get Australian ads?
Hear a lot about D&D. You've never played it. We do get Australian ads. It's the most frustrating thing. I hear about D&D a lot, but you never played it, so you don't really like board games, don't you? That's a shame. I've always loved board games. I've always wanted to try D&D, so this is sort of me trying to give it a learning, giving it a go. There we go. Neeks is Learnding.
Yeah,
I am Learnding, and I'm gonna Neeks myself. Okay.
D&D is very different from traditional board games.
So I've heard. And also have sort of experienced a wee bit. I've never played it, but I've listened to people play it. And now I'm going to... Now I'm going
You know
to...
how the game works.
If you've always...
Thanks, Omega. Thanks so much for the lurk there, mate. No thanks.
wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons but
Why
aren't
did
sure
I
where
just
to...
hear Jerkin? Is that a redemption?
Yeah, it's a redemption. He says he just didn't want to be noticed, but we noticed him. This is a video, I guess, to show you how to play.
The D&D starter set is for you.
Does everything sound
Here
alright
we're
on...
going to walk you through everything you need to know to take on the role of a hero and embark on a journey.
Is everything sound alright, people in chat? I just want to make sure that everything is, you know,
Through the
correctly
Dragons of
loud enough,
Stormwreck
not too
Isle
loud.
Adventure. Every game of Dungeons and Dragons has a group of players.
Wow.
One takes on the role of Dungeon Master
Yes.
or DM, and
See,
the rest play the heroes.
I
The
do want to be
Dungeon
Dungeon
Master
Master.
guides the story,
Thanks, Omega.
takes on the
Okay,
role of
sweet as.
villains and supporting characters, and serves as the narrator and referee of rules.
Hey.
The players take on the role of an adventuring party, setting off
Dwarf.
on epic journeys, taking them to the most unexpected places. If you've decided you want to be one of these heroes, the 5 ready-to-play character sheets found in the D&D starter set provide everything you need to get started.
Okay. Everything. Hang
Each
on, everything?
the 5 ready-to-play character sheets found in the D&D starter
If you
set
wanna...
provide
What was she
the
saying?
party, setting off on epic journeys, taking them to the most unexpected places. If you've decided you want to be one of these heroes,
Oh, if I want to be
the
one of the
ready-to-play
heroes.
character
Okay,
sheets
okay.
found in the D&D starter set
Hope you're good.
provide
Gonna be
everything
stalking
need
you,
to
silent
get
but
started.
deadly. Alright, mate. You do that. Make sure that nobody notices
Each
you from the
hero comes
shadows, right?
printed on their own sheet. Even though they're conveniently filled out for you, there's still plenty of room for creative freedom and making
I suppose
the
you're not
character your
listening to
own.
stream
The
then,
name,
Liam?
gender, personality, and physical appearance is up to you.
No,
Just be warned,
I'm
choosing a
watching
name
the Discord
seems easy.
stream, but it doesn't have any audio.
Okay, you know what I can do about that? Here's what I can do. I can grab this.
Oh, you clever boy. Oh, very good, very good.
And what I can do is add application audio output capture. Do browser noises. That's not how you spell noises, but I'm going to keep it. And then Yeah, that's what it'll be. Now, can you hear it?
Easy, but may end up being one of
No.
the hardest choices
Okay.
you'll have to make.
It didn't
But
do
which hero
anything.
should you choose?
It's
That all
okay.
depends on
I'm
the
I'm
type
gonna
of
go
character you
ahead
want
and
to play,
remove
the
that
sort of
source
playstyle
now.
you think will suit you, and if a
Gotta
character's
use your
goals
brain,
appeal
man.
to
Ah, I
you.
haven't
Each
used that in
character found in the
years.
starter set is on a personal
can hear your
quest,
redemptions.
taking them to Stormwreck Isle. It's a great story hook for your hero, and also provides some fun role-playing opportunities. So, let's get to know our characters, shall we? First, we have our Hill Dwarf Cleric. Clerics are devout individuals with the ability to channel divine magic. Divine magic is fueled from a character's
Okay,
faith
I
and
actually am not going to
conviction,
have
so
any
many
clerics in
receive
my
this power from
party,
a god
in
whose
my
beliefs they
world, I
share.
think.
Their belief is
Because I just don't want any characters, worshipping any other gods.
so strong, these gods see
That
fit
feels
to let
wrong,
their clerics
you know.
wield their power. So let's
gonna
just
have to
say
ban a lot of stuff
kind
then.
of a big
Yeah, I
deal,
suppose.
Or at least your deity thinks
No clerics,
so.
no paladin.
Divine magic is so much fun,
No
with the power
warlock.
to heal both friends and
Yeah.
strike down foes, because life is all
Yeah.
about balance. Hill dwarves are hardy folk, known for their sturdy frames.
The rules
and
are more of what
steadfast
you call
determination.
guidelines than actual rules.
Right, yeah. That is kind of what I've gained as
Their
well
bodies are
from
so tough, they can
from
even
people.
weather the most potent
Him
poisons,
saying redemptions
gaining
remind me of
resistance
Red
and
Dead.
advantage on saving throws against them.
Redemptions.
They don't call it
Arthur,
dwarf
I
redemption.
have a
Redemption.
plan.
There's more to our Hill Dwarf Cleric than others might think.
Just have
This
some
particular
faith.
character's personal goal is to
By the way, you have a
travel to
session on the
ancient temple
27th, my
Stormwreck Isle
28th.
and find the key
If I'm
to
still
prevent the
keen.
certain catastrophic doom
28th,
their deity
that's
warned them
a
of.
week from
Well,
now.
thanks for
That'll be
looking out for the rest of us.
Sunday. That'll be Sunday morning. I could do.
The Wood Elf Fighter is a fun
Could be fun.
combination, as Wood Elves are a
You let me know the
passionate,
time and I'll
inclusive bunch
I'll see
with
if
an
it's actually
affinity
if
for
it
the
actually works
natural
out for me.
world. They're naturally light on their feet,
I'm
moving
eating a
just
sandwich,
little
so I'll be
faster than
muting
their
myself.
peers, and can easily take cover in the foliage of the forests they feel so at home in. Combine that with the fighter
Next,
craft,
if you're gonna
and
play
you've got a
D&D,
fierce
you're gonna have
warrior
to deal with it.
keen survival instincts.
No.
Fighters are skilled with
If I'm
a
the DM, mate,
variety of
I'll
armor,
deal with
making
whatever
them
I
masters
please.
of martial combat. This
It's up to
particular
me
fighter
what
is
I
armed
deal with.
both a bow and
Yeah,
sword,
it is
ready to
very-
switch hit as a keen shot without being afraid to get up close and personal.
Flippin' heck.
They have a lot of endurance.
I wanna know how to
so
make
while
it
the
so
rest
you
of the
can hear
party
that,
clicks
Liam,
are
whatever.
licking,
That's
they
fine.
keep on ticking. This character is destined
Okay,
for greatness.
so she's telling me
Or at
about
least
characters. That's
for our
fine.
Lightfoot halfling rogue.
Halflings,
That
okay, I
you
don't
can
really
knock
care a
enemies
lot. I don't
with
really
someone
care a lot.
else's
Okay,
character.
so it's just characters that she's talking about. Further resources. How to roleplay, I can guess that. What's a saving throw? I do know what that is. What's an ability check? Okay, wait, I just want to get, like, the basic rules.
I'm guessing you don't have any of the books like the Dungeon Master's Guide or the Player's
Nah,
Handbook.
I don't got
Okay.
those. I could probably, I mean, they're probably on here. Dungeon
They're,
Master's
You
Guide.
kind of need those, or it's going to be a lot more difficult if you don't have those.
Free PDF download. There we go, Internet Archive. It's going to be boring then. You're going to be boring. Stuff you. I recommend D&D Beyond. That should have the basic rules for free. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. We got all the rulies.
Yeah.
Here's these.
Just read all 300 chapters
Oh,
for
man.
300 pages,
320
and then you almost know
pages.
what you need.
Wait,
PDF.
each of these is 2 pages, so it's actually 640 pages. Wow. Oh no.
You obviously don't need to know all of it, but
Yes, I do.
there's a lot of helpful information.
Gonna go play some Ark
A lot
with
of these
friends.
manuals-
Alright, Omega, all the best, mate. A lot of these manuals, what?
A lot of these manuals are just like detailing information on like abilities and creatures and items and a million other things.
PCM underscore
they're so-
underscore. Kia ora, my friend. What's going on?
It's like because the game is so vast.
Yeah.
It's like an encyclopedia,
Oh no.
like things in the game.
Oh no. Bye bye, Omega. Oh, I thought he said goodbye to you, Liam, but he didn't. I mean, if you're going to be a DM, you're going to need to know it all. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Okay, so what resources can I get for free online here, Chunk? Since you're the one who's actually currently a DM. Kia ora, PCM, what's going on here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. Bye, Liam. Sorry for leaving you out, says Omega. There you go.
Bye, Omega.
Okay,
You know what you need to do is just DM for people who either don't care or have never played D&D, so then they can
would you care?
point out your lack of knowledge. I don't care if you know everything.
So as long as you do everything correctly, no, I won't care at all. Let me get out of bed and look through my stuff. Oh, sorry, Chunk. Thank you. I see.
My favorite,
Catchy 12. What?
My favorite role plays have actually not been D&D. They've just been homebrews where you just kind of make up stuff, or the DM just kind of
What do I need?
says what you can and can't do.
Right. So it's kind of just up to him then.
Right.
Dungeon Master screens?
Okay, you do not need those.
Okay, no, especially not if I'm going to be playing over, Discord or whatever. I got a set of dice. I don't need that. Miniatures are not needed. Monster Manual is probably needed. Treasure Trove of GMs offering information.
You'll want the...
All the monsters in the game, dive into details about their abilities. Okay.
You'll need
and their
the
stats
monster
and stuff,
manual. You'll need the monster manual, the player's handbook, and the dungeon master's guide.
Monster Manual, Player's Handbook, DM's Guide. D&D Monster Manual. Free! Monster Manual. I hope that I don't click on any of these and there's like awful, inappropriate ads on it. There's always that possibility. Okay, so this is just free. This is just each page one by one. But there are 380. And it'll take a while. Oh no. Umber Hulk. Zombies. Page 315. Let me get down there real quick. 315. Oh, look, there's a frog eating a dude. I just realized that. Is this page 315?
Yeah, so you have to memorize everything here.
Oh. Man.
Because your first game will obviously have every single creature at the same time.
Of course. From somewhere in the darkness, a gurgling moan is heard. A form lurches into view, dragging one foot as it raises bloated arms and broken hands. The zombie advances, driven to kill anyone too slow to escape its grasp.
Hello, I have arrived.
Kia ora. Now explain everything to me, please.
You want to know
Each and every page, one by one, individually described expertly, please, and thank you.
Well, are we starting a D&D book club? Is that what's going on, man?
Fantastic. Let's go. First lesson. Condense it down to a single paragraph if you can, please. In fact, condense everything down to like 5 sentences.
Okay, give me a second.
Maybe just...
Aye.
Look, okay, so I have access to these things online. I'm not 100% sure what I need them for currently. I kind of have an idea for what I might use them for, going forward, like going into a session. DM guide free.
was gonna say I just sent you because I use D&D Beyond a lot because of the free stuff. I sent you
Sure.
their basic rules, which are free. That tells you about creating a character, playing the game, the rules of magic, dungeon tools, and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming, yeah, because you want to be a dungeon master, aren't you?
I do want to be, yeah.
Yeah.
D&D
Yes.
5e basic rules.
Yeah, that has.
Let's get that. Let's.
You just kind of click on it and it'll show you what to do and everything.
Oh, there we go. Take this. Perfect. Alright. Is that all I need?
Well, that's the basic rules, so you kind of read through that,
Fantastic.
and it'll tell you how to do it.
Okie doke. Oh, well, thank you, Captain Chonk.
That's alright.
Now go to bed.
I would, but I've been lying in bed for like an hour and I can't sleep, so.
That doesn't mean that in the next 15 minutes you're not going to be able to sleep. Way I see
Listen
it.
to Neek's soothing
Yeah,
voice.
listen, the way I
But
see
see-
it, there's no exciting gameplay going on. In fact, this is quite boring. So you put this on in the background, and then you'll be like, ah, sweet Kiwi voice to put me to sleep.
Yeah, but I could just stay here and talk to you.
Could do. But then you'll be all tired for the weekend. You want energy for the weekend.
I don't know if I want energy for this weekend.
Oh no, what's going on?
I was supposed to be at my parents' today.
Oh no. Oh yes or no? Or yes.
It's a happy medium.
It's a happy medium. Alright, okay. Oh yes!
Is it one of those things that's happy but not relaxing?
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
sure. Look at
It's like
that.
going to my sister's house.
Oh no!
Well, I get to see my brother and sister, but I also get to deal with my parents. So it's like, yeah,
It's a yeah. Oh.
yeah. Aw.
It's a nice
Yeehaw.
iced tea, but there's no sugar in it.
No. And then the world decided to cancel all of my buses.
Oh no! What?
There was like a crash or something, so all the buses got diverted and they all got cancelled.
Running the game. Okay, running the game. Objects, traps, poisons, diseases, madness. How did you get into this, Chunk? Did you have
Long story Huh?
Did you have somebody like to walk you through it, or?
No. I just kind of winged it.
Sure. Okay, continue, please.
Long story short,
Uh-huh.
Miko,
Uh-huh.
before she was Miko,
Uh-huh.
every weekend used to do a stream with her old YouTube partner where they would do Transformers role playing.
Yeah.
And that relationship broke, and she's always enjoyed her role play. So I was like, I'll have a look at D&D. And I kind of got into it. And I was reading it, and I was kind of learning slowly, and then I just threw myself into it, and here I am.
Sure. So you did it for the good of both yourself and others.
Yeah.
And I'll just be doing it because I'm like, man, I'm curious. I want to figure this out.
I don't stick too much to D&D lore. Like, I follow the rules. It's more of like a basis for me, because I'm not... Because obviously some people take it very seriously and they'll stick, like, if the rule says you can't do that, you can't do that. And then other people are a bit more lax, and then some people, as I think Liam said earlier, homebrew, they just kind of make it up as they go along and all that kind of stuff. So.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like I'd probably half and half be doing that, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, my rule for it is, if there's a rule in the way of somebody having fun, I will find a way to bend the rules so that they can still get their fun.
Yeah, like I was watching some people play D&D, and this fella reckons, you know, he was starting this D&D campaign, and this girl, she'd never played before, and she says, I want to be a druid, and I can turn into a little kitty cat. And then he says, you know what? You're not normally supposed to be able to do that till level, I don't know, level 1, level 2, something like that. But who cares? It's fun. And I was like, yeah, it is fun.
Exactly. I think I've got, how many people am I D&Ding right now? 7 people. I have 7 players. It
Nice.
is not fun.
Oh no. But that's what you want. You want it to
too many
be fun.
players.
Well, trying to keep track of, like, because trying to balance it, because 3 of them have never played D&D before.
Right.
One of them's a veteran.
Right.
And then the other 3 have kind of played, but not really. And it's like, trying to balance it to everybody is just not.
Sure. Yeah, it can't be
I
a
thought
lot
I
of fun.
balanced it, and then they killed everything.
Hey, but that's fun in a way, though, isn't it? It may not be what you
Well,
planned, but it's a good time.
As I told you, technically, they enslaved one mini boss and
Yeah.
then used it to beat the other one up.
Was it an animal mini boss, and one of them was a druid?
It was a water elemental
Oh, sure.
that could speak some language, but one of our characters could also speak the same language, so they
Oh,
convinced
sure.
it to join them.
The rogue
then they
with his understanding language trait or whatever.
I think it was the rogue, but yeah, they then convinced because it was called Timmy the water elemental. Don't ask me why.
I would have
then
called
they
him
used-
Swimmy.
They used Timmy to defeat the gelatinous cube.
Oh, just dissolved him, did they?
I mean, technically, I bent the rules for this because normally a gelatinous cube is acidic, so anything goes in it, it's going to eat it.
Right. Did the water
The
kind
water
of
elemental.
balance it out?
Timmy's ability was if he stops in a liquid, he could absorb the liquid.
Oh, sure.
So they came up with a brilliant idea of throwing Timmy at the gelatinous cube
Go, Swimmy!
to absorb it. and I pretty much said, okay, cool, give me this roll. And they rolled on the dots. I was like, all right, cool.
Fair enough, whatever. PCM says, unfortunately, I'm only a player, so I can't help out too much. Hey, well, that's all right. Any input is very much appreciated. This fella, the bard. I want to be the bard, man. I really want to be a bard who's like so ugly, but like really charismatic, or an orc who's a barbarian, but he's like the biggest coward you've ever known.
We have a bard called Bob Normal Man.
But
It sounds like you want to be a DM and a player at the same time.
I do. I just want to give it all a go. You know, I really want to give it all a go, but I don't want to. If I'm going to do a session, though, then it only makes sense that I'm DMing, you know. Okay, create a character. I can look at that later. Playing the game. Okay, so just all of these are important to know, I suppose. Playing the game. Ability scores. What does that mean?
Ability score.
Measure of innate capabilities also encompasses a creature's training and competence in activities related to that ability. A score of 10 or 11 is the normal human average, but adventurers and many monsters are cut above average in most abilities. A score of 18 is the highest that a person usually reaches, and adventurers can have scores as high as 20, and monsters and divine beings can have scores as high as 30. Wow. Each ability has a modifier derived from the score, ranging from -5 to +10 for a score of 30. Okay, so yeah, when I listen to people playing D&D, they kind of have modifiers. So whenever they're like,
Yeah.
so I want you to roll for dexterity or whatever, and then they'll say, and you have a +3 modifier or whatever. Then that's what that
Yeah,
means,
so that-
right? That they have 13 in dexterity, right? Is that right?
Yeah, so if let's say they had 10 dexterity with a +3.
Okay. Wait,
Which
so
means
it says 10 dexterity or 10. Hang on, sorry. Can you see the stream?
I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at.
Yeah, okay. So it says 10 to 11 is +0. So if they had 10 or 11, they would have +0 dexterity, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay,
Right.
but
Again,
then
it greatly depends on their classes and their ability, the things they pick.
sure.
There's more things that can modify your
Yeah.
ability
Like-
scores than just
right.
your base stats.
Right. Like backstory? If someone says, oh yeah, I grew up in the circus, then you would just naturally give them more dexterity, right?
Well, yeah, they'd be more dexterous and they'd have better acrobatics and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If somebody was like a thief, they'd be better at sneaking,
Mm.
and stealth, and sleight of hand, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, my barbarian idea was like a gnome who was a super strong barbarian, but he was just a straight up coward. So all of his points wouldn't be in attack or anything, or strength. His points would all be in speed, and he can he can run away from anything.
But yeah, basically, depending on how much score you have, you get your plus or minus, as you said. So if you have 10 or 11, you don't get a point. If you've got 12, you get +1. Basically, what that means is if they're rolling, let's say, for argument's sake, they've got 14 charisma, so they have a +2 modifier.
Oh, that's
and they
me.
want to
I
try
got 14 charisma, but yes, continue.
They want to try and convince somebody to do something. So
Sure.
they'll roll for charisma.
Yeah.
That +2, basically, when they roll their dice, if they get an 8 on the dice, they add 2 to that dice roll, so now they have a 10.
Sure. Right, because they got
Yeah.
plus 13 charisma or whatever it was.
They got +2 because they've
Right,
got
right.
14. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. 13 in charisma, which means +2, or 15 or whatever it is. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But then also, you can have advantage and disadvantage rolls. For example, if you've already rizzed up that NPC, then they'll say, and now I wanna kiss her and grab the thing off the back of her belt or whatever. Then you'd give them advantage because he's already like, done most of the work, right? Is that right?
It can be, or it can be like a special ability.
A special ability.
So, yeah, so like, I'm pulling character sheets up real quick. Where's the rogue?
Okay.
There they are. Do. Yeah, see, my rogue they have this special skill called the sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
And once per turn, they can deal extra damage to a creature they hit with an attack with a finesse or range weapon if they have advantage on the attack roll.
Right. Right, so if they have advantage, then they get the plus damage.
They get the plus damage. If they don't have advantage...
And advantage depends on the situation? As in, like, if the role-playing
it can
situation
depend on
is
the
favorable?
Situation. Yeah, compared to the situation, it can depend on a spell. Like some
Okay, so
spells
if you
will
have the water
automatically give you
elemental,
advantage.
and then you use like a I don't know, a boiling water spell, then you'd have advantage in that situation. Is that right?
Yeah.
But a better example would be...
Again, the rogue I'm playing with has a cantrip.
Cantrip. I don't know what
do you
that
know
means.
A cantrip is basically a spell that kind of has no cooldown or anything. They just kind of use it. And
Okay.
this spell in particular, basically, they point a finger at a target in range. Their magic, you basically get to see their defenses, and on their next turn, they gain an advantage on the first attack roll.
Right.
As long as they've got that spell up. But you could, like, if you were fighting a fire elemental and you throw a water spell on them, if you wanted to, you could give the water person advantage. You don't have to, but you could, obviously, considering water and fire.
Right, the situation, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so advantage can be invoked, but it can also just be granted by the DM.
Yeah.
Okay. If circumstances cause a roll to have both advantage and disadvantage, you're considered to have neither of them. You roll 1d20. This is true even if multiple circumstances impose disadvantage and one grants advantage, or vice versa. In such a situation, you have neither advantage nor disadvantage. Okay. When you have advantage or disadvantage in something in the game, such as a halfling's lucky trait lets you re-roll or replace the d20, you can re-roll or replace only one of the dice. You choose which one. For example, if a halfling has advantage or disadvantage on an ability check and rolls a 1 and a 13, the halfling could use the lucky trait to re-roll the 1. You usually gain advantage or disadvantage through the use of special abilities, actions, or spells. Inspiration can also give a character advantage. The DM can also decide the circumstances influence... The DM can also decide that circumstances influence a roll in one direction or the other, and grant disadvantage or impose disadvantage as a result. Grant advantage or impose disadvantage as a result.
Just like what we said with the whole fire, water kind of thing. Yep.
Right, so it can come down to circumstances in the actual session or special abilities, sure. And each person's or spells, and each person's character sheet would have their advantages and their traits and their special powers and all that, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, it would. So the character sheet will tell you, oh, this spell gives you advantage in this, or this special ability gives them. Yeah, the character sheet should tell you everything, provided the player has set it up right.
Right. Characters are proficient. Okay, so proficiency bonus. Attack rolls. Your proficiency bonus can't be added. Okay. Proficiency bonus determined by level. Step-by-step characters. Monsters also have this bonus, which is incorporated into their stat blocks. The bonus is used in the rules on ability checks, saving throws, and attack roll. Proficiency bonuses. What is that? It'll be in characters, step-by-step characters. Let's have a look.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of back and forth in this. I hope you like reading.
I do like reading. I'm just very slow at it.
It's all good. Takes time.
Ability scores. Much of what your character does in a game depends on his or her 6 abilities. Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Charisma and wisdom, baby boy! Each ability has a score, which is a number you record on your character sheet. 6 abilities and their use in the game are described as using ability scores section. Oh, so I have to click on another link to read something else.
You're trying to look for proficiencies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you click that step-by-step characters, it'll take you to chapter 1 step-by-step characters, right?
Yes. And I'm now on
rolling,
determine ability
choose race,
scores.
Choose class.
Because I actually don't know.
Wait, where are you?
Determine ability scores is where I am currently.
Oh. Yep, if you click choose a class, it should say proficiency bonus.
Proficiencies, okay. Character receives a number of benefits from their choice of class. Many of the benefits are class features, capabilities, including spellcasting, that set your character apart from members of other classes. You also gain a number of proficiencies, armor, weapon skills, saving throws, and sometimes tools. Your proficiencies define many of the things your character can do particularly well, from using certain weapons to telling a convincing lie. I am terrible at lying. On your character sheet, record all the features that your class gives you at first level. Typically, your character starts at the first level and advances in level by adventuring and gaining experience points. A first level character and experience in the adventuring world, although he or she might have the soldier or a pirate and done dangerous things before. First level marks your character entry, blah 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 blah. Kia ora, cuz. Hope the character creation is going well. Yeah, thanks. I'm just having a look at what it means to create a character firstly, though. But thank you for the wishes of luck. How you doing, mate? You thinking of jumping on Pikmin there, mate? If you're already familiar with the game, joining an existing D&D campaign, your DM might decide to bring you in at a higher level on the assumption that your character has already survived a few harrowing adventures. Sure. You know what they say about assumptions. Yeah, about to pull some Oompa Loompas out of the ground. Sounds good, mate.
Which Pikmin are you playing?
The first one I believe he's playing. Is that right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Looks like a college course 5 times over. I know. Record your level on your character sheet if you're starting at a high level, blah, 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 blah. Hit points and hit dice. Okay, I think I understand that. First time, sort of. Yep, Pikmin 1. First time, sort of. Your character's hit
Just
points.
under hit points.
Define.
Proficiency bonus.
Oh, it is too. Hey, I found it. Oh, you found it, but I found it after you told me where to find it. Your character's hit points determine how tough your character is in combat and other dangerous situations. Sure, I get that. It's like a video game. Your hit points are determined by your hit dice, short for hit point dice. At the first level, your character has 1 hit dice. The die type is determined by your class. You start with hit points equal to the highest roll of that dice, as indicated in your class description. You also add your constitution modifier, which you'll determine in step 3. This is also your hit point maximum. So, is that when making your character, you have to roll a dice to see how much they can take?
You can do. There's 2 ways to do it. Because everybody that I know, it kind of gets confused. Basically what happens is D&D Beyond picks it for you. They just pick a flat number for you, depending on everything. But yes, you can, they'll roll a dice and whatever they roll will be their hit points. Yes, you can do it that way. Yeah.
After you rest, you can spend hit dice to regain hit points. So you're resting in the advancing section. Sure, I know that. Proficiency bonus.
Long rest, short rest.
Okay. The table that appears in your class description shows your proficiency bonus, which is +2 for the first level characters. Your proficiency bonus applies to many of the numbers you'll be recording on your character's sheet. Okay. Attack rolls using weapons you're proficient with. Attack rolls with spells you cast. Ability checks using skills you're proficient with. Ability checks using tools you're proficient with. Saving throws you're proficient in. Saving throw DCs. DCs? For spells you cast. Saving throw DCs. I don't know what DCs are. Your class determines your weapon proficiencies, your saving throw proficiencies, and some of your skill and tool proficiencies. Okay. Your background gives you additional skill and tool proficiencies, and some races give you more proficiencies. Be sure to note all these proficiencies as well as your proficiency bonus on your character sheet. Your proficiency bonus can't be added to a single die roll or other number more than once. Occasionally, your proficiency bonus might be modified, doubled, or halved, for example, before you apply it. If a circumstance suggests that your proficiency bonus applies more than once on the same roll, or that it should be multiplied more than once, you nevertheless add it only once. Hey! Multiply it only once and halve it only once. So, proficiency bonus just means that you're better at stuff by default because of whatever you've chosen your character to be, or because of the past or whatever, or past sessions.
So if you picked a fighter that was proficient in heavy weapons, then if you're running around with an axe, you get proficiency on the axes, whereas if you were using a sword, you wouldn't get proficiency because you're not built for the sword.
Right. And when you have a proficiency bonus, that means that you, double a roll?
Let me read this quickly.
Because it tells me what a proficiency bonus is, but it doesn't tell me how to apply it.
That's a good question.
Weapon proficiencies, your saving throw proficiencies, some of your skill and proficiencies. Your background gives you additional skill and tool proficiencies, and some races give you more proficiencies. Be sure to note all of these proficiencies as well as your proficiency bonus on your character sheet.
I believe that is the same thing, let me pull up. The easiest thing's going to be if I just pull up one of my character sheets I have.
Yeah. Pull from experience.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure that's just if you're proficient with an axe, you get when you roll to hit something, if you're using an axe and you're trained to have an axe, you get +2 to hit. So if you roll an 8, you'd roll a 10 because you get +2.
Oh, sure. So it's just the same as whatever we were discussing earlier. Jeez, we were discussing something earlier. What were we talking about?
Welcome to D&D.
Damn it! What were we talking about?
This is. We were talking about. I have it up right. No,
I don't remember talking about. Advantages and disadvantages. Right, so you add numbers
That was it, yep.
because of advantage and disadvantage. Or remove numbers. And proficiency also adds numbers. So if you have proficiency in something and advantage, then you can add both of those and make your roll like mega ultra uber cool. Okay. Okay. Well, now I'm going to go back to the step-by-step characters because there's a lot there that I would like to read. Oh, I love this song!
There's a lot of stuff you've got to kind of learn. Luckily, D&D Beyond does a lot of it for you.
Right. So what is D&D Beyond? Is it just a different set of rules?
No, D&D Beyond is this website you're on right now.
Oh! And
it
automates a lot of the process, does it?
Yeah, so you can make a... Let me find somebody who won't care if I share. There we go. We'll pick this one. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this. I have no idea if this will work.
What am I looking at? Discord?
I'm going to send you a link on Discord. Now, I don't know whether it'll let you have a look at this. I am not 100% sure. Should have just sent you a link.
Copy link.
It might take you to a page, it might get you to
Search
sign in. I don't know. Hopefully it'll just let you look at it.
Don't have access to this page. Make sure its privacy settings is configured correctly for you to access it.
Okay.
Try and enter the 403rd level of Endless Dungeon and Ancient Dragon. Ralazar is rising up.
Yep.
To block
I thought
your
that would
path.
happen. It was just like showing off one of the character sheets, but like a lot of it is like it'll have the bonuses baked in, so when you click to roll dexterity, the game will roll, the website will roll for you and add like your +1s automatically into the dice roll.
Sure.
So you don't really have to do the math. The website just does it for
but
you.
okay, all right, okay, I appreciate that, but also I really want to roll my own dice.
Well, see, you as a DM can roll your own dice.
Oh, but the
'Cause I do,
characters
'cause-
will.
Yeah, the like if you're playing with your players could just click it and roll it in game, you know,
Sure.
or in thing. Because I roll my own dice
Yeah. Cool boys. High five.
mainly so that they can't see what I'm rolling.
Sure.
But yeah, you would just have to do the math then. You'd have to roll and then be like, oh, does it have efficiency and blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I probably would just use the site.
Depends on the monster.
6 ability scores randomly. Roll 4 6-sided dice and record the total of the highest 3 dice on a piece of scratch paper. Do this 5 more times. Excuse me. So that you have 6 numbers. You want to save time or don't like the idea of randomly determining ability scores, you can use the following scores instead. Right, so you give those scores to your 6 abilities, and you just decide which ones get what.
Pretty much, yep.
Can I make them all
Yep.
20 or 18?
The only way I think you'd probably be able to do that is if you rolled for them.
Sure. Okay.
Like if you're like just like, oh, because when you make a character on here, again, let me pull this up. Oh, my brain. did
Take your
this.
6 numbers and write each number beside one of your character's 6 abilities to assign scores to strength, dexterity, blah 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 blah.
Why do I have so many
Afterward,
characters?
make any changes to your ability scores as a result of your race choice. After assigning your ability scores, determine your ability modifiers using the ability scores in the modifiers table. To determine an ability modifier without consulting the table, blah 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 blah. Subtract 10 from the ability score and then divide the result by 2. Round down. Write the modifier next to each of your scores. Kia ora, Elm1996. Hello, my friend. Sorry, this is probably not the most interesting stream to come into. I'm just figuring everything out. I've never played this game. Never. Have you played this game? You a fan of D&D? Hey, your dungeon master. Okay. That's all right. Interesting in a way. Angry Meatball, you're interesting in a way. Kia ora, my friend. How good to see yous. You're green as can be. Nice to see fresh eyes. Well, you can't see my eyes, but I appreciate the perspective.
Let me just do that redeem real quick, and then you can see his eyes.
Hey, Mutainer. You could do. It would probably lag out. And also, I'm looking away from the camera, so... I could put the camera here. It would just be on an angle. I could put it right here. Oh, that'd be bad. I could put it here, but then you'd be able to see the mess that is my room.
Do I have the points for it? I do, but I'm not going to use them.
Okay, good. Let me put that camera back. Kia ora, Mutainer. How you doing, mate? So you have 2 campaigns, you DM, and 2 campaigns you're a player in. Far out, mate. Yeah, okay, so you know what you're up to then. Angry Meatball, I can guess by the way you're talking that you do too. Mutainer has played... No, Mutainer doesn't know anything either. So Mutainer, me and you, mate. Yeah, we're mates. We're on the same level. But I am gonna know stuff soon though. Maybe, so... You've played a bit, sure. Well, yeah, but you know though. You know stuff. You know. I don't. I don't even know what the races are, and I don't quite understand how you add these numbers to your sheet. So is it literally just... What time is it in New Zealand? Hang on. 10. It's 11 a.m. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I'm not signed up, whatever. Pretty tired, didn't sleep last night. Oh no, just got done with work a little bit ago. Still got stuff that needs to be done. Far out, I'm sorry, mate. Well, I hope you can get an absolutely incredible, beautiful rest tonight. Because you know what, mate? I'm going to be streaming tomorrow as well. So I'd love to see you there. It is, yeah, it's 11 a.m. right now there, Meatball.
It is almost midnight. Ooh.
What time is it? Oh, yeah, it's midnight, sure. So now you're only 11 hours behind me. Before you were 12. But everything's moved forward for us because of daylight savings. So, yay. Method describing her here allows you to build a character with a set ability scores to choose individually of 27 points to spread. Okay. $27? That does not equal 27. Yeah, the campaigns you DM are One Piece campaign set during the 2-year time skip, and the other is a Borderlands Magitech campaign. That's so cool. Which is the Borderlands game series setting out with the gods and magic. Awesome! Okay, so this is all kind of up to the DM what I decide each role will be measuring, right? Strength, dexterity, constitution.
That's players. That's when they make their character, they either pick their roles or they roll a dice to find out their roles. Yeah.
Sure. But like
what their numbers are, sorry.
Right, but if if something happens in the session and I don't know, and like a skeleton comes out the ground and says, I'm going to take your life force, then I will say, now roll for Constitution? Is that right?
Technically, if they jumped out, they'd roll for initiative.
Sure,
initiative...
right, and then also a saving throw after he's done the spell.
Yeah, they'll have to do a saving throw if it attacks, but
right.
Yeah, you, as a DM, will roll for the skeleton.
Constitution. Right.
Like,
I will roll for the skeleton to see if it lands and see if it
how much damage it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never tell your players what
you
their
roll.
health is. Or
Sure.
anything.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Mutainer, wish I could, but you got a permit renewal going on. Got most of tomorrow, and then taking the wife to a classical concert in the evening. Oh man, I hope that's a great time. That sounds so fun. That sounds so cool, man. God bless you then. As in when you go there, because I could not imagine sitting through a classical concert. It's not my cup of tea. You get to decide what to specialize, but the DM gets to decide what type of role you make. Sure, I am looking at yeah. That's kind of what I meant. I am sort of looking at what I would need to be the DM, because I'm kind of thinking of I'm thinking of DMing, because I'm kind of wanting to do a game, but like I don't have anybody to join, so I'd probably have to start a game instead, or like just even do like a one shot, just one. Once you know the basic game aspects of your character, it's time to flesh him or her out as a person. Your character needs a name. Spend a few minutes thinking of what he or she looks like and how he or she behaves in general terms. She is a halfling who likes to wear a headband that has little devil horns on her because she thinks she's a tiefling. She also she is a cleric. And she loves ducks. Oh damn, yeah, that's rough, as I became a player first and I transitioned into DMing. Yeah, see, what's got you into the game? Well, I started just randomly listening to people playing Blades in the Dark, which is basically a sub version of D&D, a knockoff, not a knockoff, a spin-off of D&D. It was a lot of fun, and I really liked it. And then I watched that same group on YouTube start a D&D campaign, and yeah, I've been watching them. It's a good time, and I'm just like, man, I want to try that. And I've been watching them for the past, 4 weeks or so? So, yeah, I just really want to give it a go at least once. If it's not for me, then it's not for me. That's fine. Character's abilities. Scores and race account, blah, 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 blah. For example, high strength usually corresponds with a burly or, yep. Okay, so, right. So this is all about character creation, sure.
Yeah, this is all about, like, being a player.
Come together. Depending on what that is referring to, that may be a good or a bad thing. Most D&D characters don't work alone. Each character plays a role within a party. A group of adventurers. Yes, okay. So this stuff I do sort of know. Just by listening to people play. So my advice as a DM is take it slow and figure out your own DM style by playing through a pre-written book or one-shot module. Or I could get my players to write up character sheets for the characters of Rugrats.
You could, yeah.
See,
that's what I did when I learned how to DM. I bought the start kit. I had a pre-set out, like pre-made, like adventure, and within the first 5 minutes, they'd already gone off script.
Of course. Well, that's what I love about the idea of this game and Blades in the Dark. Blades in the Dark, the one powered by the Apocalypse setting, or am I thinking of something else? Yeah, sort of. It's like, yeah, post-apocalyptic D&D, where like everything's gone wrong and now everything's more modern and it's ghosts, lots of ghosts. First time I've heard of a Rugrats campaign. Well, now you can bless that idea onto others.
This is the first time for everything.
There's a first time for everything. Yeah,
I want to be the dinosaur.
Yes! Reptar!
That's the one, yeah. I want to be Reptar.
Okay, step-by-step character. Sorry, what was I saying before I read that message?
I honestly don't know.
Neither do I. Must not have been important.
You'll remember it later on.
Yeah. Okay, so proficiency bonus I now understand. I think I have a basic grasp on what proficiency bonuses are. Your proficiency bonus can't be added to a single die roll or other number more than once. For example, if 2 different rules say you can add your proficiency bonus to a wisdom saving throw, you nevertheless add the bonus only once when you make the save. Right, okay. So even if you have 2 reasons to give yourself a proficiency bonus, you only ever add the 1 die. Okay, sure thing. Occasionally your proficiency bonus might be multiplied or divided, doubled or halved, for example, before you apply it. For example, the rogue's expertise feature doubles the proficiency bonus for certain ability checks. If a circumstance suggests that your proficiency bonus applies more than once the same roll, you still add it only once, multiple divide only once you have, okay. By the same token, the feature or effect allows you to multiply your proficiency bonus or make an ability check that wouldn't normally benefit from your proficiency bonus. You still don't add the bonus to the check. For that check, your proficiency bonus is 0. Given the fact that multiplying 0 by any number is still 0. For instance, oh, I see. If you lack proficiency in the history skill, you gain no benefit from a feature that lets you double your proficiency bonus when you make... Okay, sure thing. Yep, that makes sense. I mean, that's just basic math. In general, you don't multiply your proficiency bonus or attack rolls or saving rolls. If a feature or effect allows you to do so, these same rules apply. Okay. So proficiency isn't for saving throws or attack rolls. It's for role-playing?
Let me pull this back up again.
Oh, that's what it was? Yes! Okay, thank you, Elm. The one thing that I love about D&D and Blades in the Dark is that people can go off script, and you just have to kind of go with it, right? And I've always kind of really loved that idea, and I want to give it a go. And, I want something weird to happen and just roll with it. Have my basic plot points, and then say, and they say, oh, well, actually, we've solved this problem, and instead of doing what I've prompted them to do, they instead go to a bar or whatever, and then I'll say, well, I wanted them to go fight this rhino, so while they're in the bar, the wall's just gonna explode and a rhino's gonna run through it. I like that idea, that I adapt along with them, reacting. Yeah, I like that idea. Elm 1996 says, the thing with going off the rails is while they drive the story, but you have one thing they don't. The world can be reshaped or nudged so that your prepared work doesn't go to waste. Yeah, this means you can move the story over to where they are, or even let them see the consequences of leaving this important thing alone. Exactly. Yeah. See, I've loved that idea, and I love the thought of being the person that executes
that's what
that.
I did
when they enslaved your mini boss.
That was the very first time I did it. It was basically a pre-written book that's supposed to guard this cart, take it down the thing. They're going to get attacked by goblins. They fend off the goblins, then they wander off and find the goblin hideout and kill all the goblins in the hideout.
Sure. But instead
they tried to
befriend
negotiate with the goblins.
Sure.
Yep. Which, me being dumb me, is I let them. The goblins, for some reason, then helped them fix the cart that they broke, sent them on their way, and then I had to think of a reason, which eventually I did, to get them to go to the goblin hideout to kill everybody.
They must have had some legendary throws to get you to get that kind of a result.
Well, I said, okay, anything above a 13, and they rolled a nat 20.
No.
Yep, they rolled a nat 20, so I was like,
fantastic.
I have to give it to them.
Yeah, you have to. And I'm sure the one that did it had a charisma multiplier as well.
But it was just, it's the fun with their D&D.
Oh, totally. And, I could see it as well. Like, I'd be like, alright. So you convince these goblins, and they help you fix the cart, and then the goblins saying, but as much as we like you, we're not allowed to converse with people outside of the tribe, so we're gonna be executed. And then, can you come with us back to our tribe to convince them not to? And then you can, start a new thing that way. And then they can still fight all the goblins in the horde, but now they have friendly goblins to help them, and that'll be cool. See, that's like cool as, like adaptive storytelling. I love it. I really, really love it.
Yeah. See, I went the other way. I went that they carried on down the road and they ran into somebody who had escaped from the goblin place and said there was people trapped there.
Clever.
And then they went back to, yeah.
Very clever. See, like,
it was
no two DMs will think the same
session, way. So, yeah. It was the first time I'd ever done anything D&D, so I was like, this'll work.
Yeah, totally. No two DMs are exactly the same. That's what I really am looking forward to, is like just making a story. Because I am good at BSing. I'm fantastic at DMing. BSing. DMing. No, BSing. There we go. Okay, ability checks. An ability check tests a character or monster's initiative, talent, and training in an effort to overcome a challenge. The DM calls for the ability check when the character or monster attempts an action other than attack that has a chance of failure. Sure, when the outcome is uncertain, the dice determines the results for every ability check. Goodness, who is it? Elm, thank you so much for the follow, mate. Thank you so much. Mind you, I've experienced some crazy stuff as a DM. One highlight is my group suplexed an adult red dragon at level 4 and killed it, selling its various body parts, which broke the economy of the campaign, and then invested that money into a tavern with which they enchanted to fly. And then had a subplot of expanding this tavern with various fantastical upgrades. That's fantastic. The campaign that I'm listening to, in the first couple stories, the rogue is a pirate, and he's got a backstory or whatever, and the DM has decided to build off of that and say, well, your old crew has come to kill you, and then they fight off the crew that's trying to kill him, and then they see his ship off in the distance and they go to swim to it and whatever, and his father is on board, and they deal with all that, and then by the end of it they say, sweet, so I guess I got my ship back, and then the DM is like, oh that's right, yeah, I guess you do. Like he didn't think about that one thing. He's like, oh yeah, wow, true, you do. Oh, all right. And then every other adventure and every other session that they have starts with them like getting off the ship, and it's just cool,
Oh yeah.
And that was in a pre-written campaign. It reminds me of Doctor Who.
I'm trying to remember what my favorite thing that somebody's ever done in one of my games.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is one of two things. Is they went to the market. They were a rogue, so they went to the market to buy something. Didn't like the price of it, so they tried to come back later on and steal it. They got caught by the market stall owner, so they killed them. And then the market stall owner's brother came out and got the guards. The rogue convinced the guards that the brother was the one that killed the dude.
Yeah.
So the guards took him away, and then the rogue ended up with possession of the market stall because he found the deed to the market stall. So he started selling some of his stuff after every adventure on this market stall.
That's fantastic. Ongoing story stuff. I love that kind of stuff. I know I'm just beating a dead horse at this point, but adaptive storytelling is one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, it is good.
Yeah, when I was little, and we'd go camping or whatever, and I was hanging out with whānau, my dad would often, when we're sitting around the campfire or whatever, he would sing a song and he would play his guitar, and he would basically just do a simple chord progression and then start singing, and then he'd say one of my cousin's names or one of my sister's names, and it'd say like, oh, Jonty, the big fat orc, and then And he would tell this big long story about a giant orc named Jonty, which just so happens to be my cousin's name. And he was a big fat orc who farted a lot, and he always, it was a very embarrassing story. It's great. And then during the story, he'd come across a donkey named after my sister who was, very loud and annoying. And then across the way, he'd come across an old weird crazy man named after me who was yelling and weird and naked, like those kinds of stuff. And it just got my creativeness flowing, and that's kind of where my interest for storytelling and improvisational comedy sort of came from. I love that kind of stuff. I cannot get enough of it.
Mine just comes from my brain. I think it's my ADHD. I always daydream about the most randomest stuff, and I'm just like, this would be cool to make people play through. It's like making people play through my brain, Like, I can imagine they'll have fun with that.
The guys who made Dark Souls thought the same thing. Everybody was like, yes! Make an ability check, roll a d20, and add a relevant ability modifier. Okay, so difficulty classes. That's what DC means. For every ability check,
DC is difficulty class.
Yeah. DM decides which of the 6 abilities is relevant to the task at hand and the difficulty of the task represented by a difficulty class. More difficult a task, the higher its DC. The typical difficulty class table shows the most common DCs. Right, okay. Yep. So, and as the DM, you would decide which difficulty class any given action is, right?
Yeah, so like if they're trying to, I don't know, throw something, you could say, strength, and then you wouldn't, you'd say, strength, roll higher than a 12, and you succeed.
Right. So
their DC is 12, and then they'd have to roll higher than 12.
Right, and if they were like, if your character was like half giant or whatever, and they wanted to toss a boulder out the way, then you'd say, okay, go ahead and make a strength roll with and you'll have to beat a 10, right? And then they'll do that.
Yeah.
But then if it's like a halfling that wants to push a boulder out the way, then you'd say, all right, that's going to be a strength check and you'll need to beat a 20. Like that kind of thing, right? Yeah. Okay, sure thing.
It's up to you,
Sure. Other shenanigans they did in the same campaign, by the way, including dropping a fiendish rhino and several barrels of gunpowder onto a coven of witches from a flying carpet. Why would they need a flying carpet? They had a flying tavern. And causing 2 revolutions at different areas of the same dungeon against the hill giants? A goblin one and an orc one. The orc one was down because they liked the monks cooking. See, I love it. Just because you describing that to me sounds random. Yeah, just sounds like a bunch of random things happening, but in the flow of the session it all makes total sense, right? And it's all flowing together and it's good and it's great. And as well, I bet you after the first revolution they probably went to the opposite side, had a bunch of goblins looking at them with knives out, and they were like, I reckon we could do that again. Contests. Sometimes one character or monster's efforts are directly opposed to another. This can occur when both of them are trying to do the same thing and only one can succeed, such as attempting to snatch up a magical ring that has fallen on the floor. Sure. Oh, sure. I've never even thought about that. This situation also applies when one of them is trying to prevent the other one from accomplishing a goal. For example, when a monster tries to force open a door that an adventurer is holding closed. In situations like these, the outcome is determined by a special form of ability check called a contest. Both participants in a contest make ability checks appropriate to their efforts. They apply all appropriate bonuses and penalties, but instead of comparing the total to a DC, they compare the totals of their 2 checks. Right. So I roll a 13 for the goblin, and you roll a 5, and you're both trying to win a game of tug at war, then the goblin wins because he rolled a 13, right?
Yes, exactly.
Sure. The participant with a higher check total wins the contest. The character or monster either succeeds at the action or prevents the other one from succeeding. But in that case, because he's a goblin, then I would probably give the adventurer advantage because they're bigger and stronger. Would that make sense, or would that be?
If you wanted to, yes, you could.
Okay. or disadvantage because the floor is slippery or something along those lines.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Sure,
what I mean. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, you get to pick all that. It's the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
part.
Like earlier on, the rogue had cast grease, and now the barbarian is trying to win a game of tug of war against this orc, and he's pulling. And then I'm just like, yeah, you have disadvantage because there's grease, and also disadvantage because the orc is humongous. You're gonna need a roll of 25, mate. No, that's not how that works. No, we'd both roll, and then the orc would get an advantage on his roll, right? Oh, no, not an advantage. Would get additional numbers added to his roll because of his advantage. Or would it be that I take numbers off of the adventurers because of their disadvantage?
Advantage is just... I think if they had advantage, if you rolled... Like an... I think I could be wrong, because this is my understanding of advantage. If you rolled an 11, and we're like, I don't want the 11, if you have advantage, you could roll another dice.
Right. Sure. Okay.
And then if you get higher, you could use that number instead.
And if you had... Okay. So... And then if somebody has disadvantage...
Not sure about disadvantage, because
Sure.
I haven't played around.
Well, then
with
maybe
that
I'll never use
myself.
disadvantage and instead just give the opposing party advantage.
I mean, you could do that, yeah.
Or I could just make the DC higher, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So there's ways around it. It's just, there's a lot of stuff, and it melts my brain, so I'm just going to simplify.
Sure. I'm getting there. I'm starting to understand things. A little bit. Don't hold me to that. Album says, no, the best part is the party split and had no idea the other was doing this. So you have the goblin party member causing this goblin revolution, and this panda monk looking for these orcs that then lead the orcs to turn against the hill giants for food with no context? No context character-wise that the other group was doing this. That's fantastic. Yeah, and then as well, because you're trying to roleplay as these characters. Oh, cooking. Oh, right, you did say cooking earlier. And there's Panda Monk cooking for these orcs that then lead the orcs to turn against the hill giants because of his cooking.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, see, when you're role-playing, you kind of just have to put yourself in the shoes of the character. And, and like the DM will describe to one character, you make a wisdom perception check and you notice that there's blood on the walls. And then as a different character who's separate from that one, you just kind of have to accept that you don't see that, and you just keep walking in even though there's blood on the walls and you don't know, and you know, but you don't know, No, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like dark vision. Some characters have dark vision, so they can see in the dark.
Right.
Others characters can't. You
Sure.
can tell them, oh, this is what you see. It's up to them whether they tell their other fellow
Right.
adventurers about it.
Right. Yeah. Everybody, I can see in the dark. Form a conga line behind me. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Hey! Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Oh! And the guy with dark vision can see all the can see all the nocturnal giant bat monsters that are hanging from the ceilings, and everybody's just like, hey, da 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 da, hey. It's super loud, and he's just like, yes, keep going.
You could see like a giant spider, but like, yeah, you guys go ahead. It's clear. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. How familiar am I with One Piece or Borderlands? I don't know anything about One Piece, but I also don't know anything about Borderlands. But I own all the Borderlands games, so that's something at the very least.
I've played Borderlands. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. That counts.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I own all of them, but I've never played any of them. To be fair, though, I have 600 games that I've never played. They're just sitting up on my shelves. Okay. Skills. Each ability covers a broad range of capabilities, including skills that a character or a monster can be proficient in. A skill represents a specific aspect of an ability score, and an individual's proficiency in a skill demonstrates a focus on that aspect. Character's starting skill proficiencies are determined at character creation, and a monster's skill proficiencies appear in the monster's stat block. Right, the predetermined, sure. For example, a dexterity check might reflect a character's attempt to pull off an acrobatic stunt, or palm an object, or to stay hidden. Right. Each of these aspects of dexterity has an associated skill: acrobatics, sleight of hand, and stealth, respectively. So a character who has proficiency in the stealth skill is particularly good at dexterity checks related to sneaking and hiding. The skills related to each ability score are shown in the following list: strength, athletics, dexterity, acrobatics, sleight of hand. Right. So, right. And one thing as well is that if you're a player, you can kind of convince the DM to have them roll for one of the two, right? So like, if they wanted to do a handstand and walk across a room on their hands, then I might say, okay, roll for dexterity as in acrobatics, and then they'll say, well, no, I'll roll for strength, athletics, because it's an athletic thing to do, right? And you need strength in your arms. And I'm like, well, okay, like you can reason it, right?
I mean, again,
Can you?
if you want them to do that, you could. Yes.
Sure. And also, as the DM, I could make them roll for strength because I know it's higher for them, or lower,
Yeah.
or whatever. And they're on a bit of a streak, and I just want to see them fall on their face.
Yeah. No,
Sure.
I've done that before. Because I have one. He's charismatic. He's got like +3 or 4. He's got either +3 in persuasion, but I think his charisma is like a +1 or something.
Sure.
So sometimes when he's trying to persuade somebody, I'll be like, all right, roll charisma.
Right.
Roll by perception. No, roll charisma. Because they have less chance of getting a high roll. And then it messes them up, and it's just funny to watch. I'm going to disappear in a second because it's getting late, but I'm going to find that time for you for next weekend.
Sure thing. Yes, please. Thank you. I see. So you'd not understand anything of what I say for the One Piece party. Got it. Yep, that's exactly right. Sometimes a DM might ask for an ability check using a specific skill. For example, make a wisdom perception check. At other times, a player might ask the DM if proficiency is a particular skill applies to the check. Okay, yep. In either case, proficiency in a skill means an individual can add his or her proficiency bonus to ability checks that involve the skills without proficiency in the skill. The individual makes a normal ability check. Okay.
So we started at 7 p.m. my time. Which I
7
think is
p.m. What's your
6
time?
a.m.
UK time.
British
Oh,
summer
there we
time.
go.
I
It's half
think
past
BST.
12 for you.
Yeah.
2 NZT.
I think it's about 6 a.m. for you.
6 a.m. for me on a Sunday. Hey, well, that's a
Yep.
day that I'm actually free, so there you go.
We do 7 till 9, so we do 6 to 8. So you could jump in at any point over that time.
Close that, please. There you go. And then I'll make this. What'd you say? 7 p.m.
Yeah, so we go 7 till 9. Maybe sometimes we go past 9, depending if everybody's free.
It is.
So,
It's 6 a.m. to me. Okay, cool.
yeah, we start at 6, but we go minimum to 8. So if you wanted to jump in at 7, you're more than welcome to.
Brr, I could voice some of the NPCs.
If you wanted to, yes, you're more than welcome to. You could give Timmy a voice if you wanted.
Timmy. Oh. My name is Timmy.
I need to somehow get rid of Timmy, because Timmy's kind of overpowered right now.
Have them go into the desert. And then make saving throws for
That
Timmy
could work.
every other turn, just to say he doesn't evaporate.
Where's Timmy's stats? Let me have a look. Because Timmy's stats are crazy. Here they are. Yeah, so Timmy has 114 hit points.
Oh no.
He's immune to poison. He's immune to exhaustion, grappling, paralyzing, petrifying, poison, prone, restraint, and unconsciousness.
Oh no.
He resists acid, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Oh no.
He has dark vision, a passive perception of 10,
Oh jeez.
and can make 2 attacks every turn.
Oh jeez.
And they've somehow ended up with this as a pet, and I'm just like, why did I let this happen?
Did they use an action called working together? Sometimes 2 or more characters team up to attempt a task. The character who's leading the effort, or the one with the highest ability modifier, can make an ability check with advantages reflecting the help provided by other characters in combat. This requires the help action to subdue Timmy? Yeah. Okay, so the Borderlands campaign party is a fox lady who's a forgotten goddess of death that is from another universe, who is also a siren sorcerer. We have a human life cleric who worships this elemental conclave that I created in a previous campaign, sure. Then we have a Grug Beastmaster Ranger, ooh, but my version, which is either an evolving biological companion or an upgrading robotic companion. Then we got a human cybernetics artificer that multi-classed into a Vault Monster Patron Warlock. Jeez. It's so many different adjectives. And I have cool Psycho Barbarian Tiefling NPC. Cool. I was really wanting to make a tiefling character who's an apothecary. Is that a class that I can choose? Apothecary? Is it a subclass?
Probably be a homebrew.
Homebrew.
So homebrew is basically people have made stuff up. Is the easiest way to explain
sure.
it.
So, D&D.
Yeah, basically.
Right, they made stuff up, sure. Ask for a group ability check. In such a situation, the characters who are skilled at a particular task help cover those who aren't. To make a group ability check, everyone in the group makes the ability check. If at least half the group succeeds, the whole group succeeds. Okay, otherwise the group fails. Group checks don't come. Okay, and they're mostly useful when all the characters succeed or fail as a group. For example, when adventurers are navigating a swamp, DM might call for a group wisdom survival check to see if the characters can avoid the quicksand, sinkholes, and other natural hazards of the environment. If at least half the group succeeds, then the successful characters are able to guide their companions out of danger. Otherwise, the group stumbles into one of these hazards. Sure. Yeah, he sets himself on fire and speaks in psychobabble. Jeez. I have a lot of homebrew rules. Yeah, I feel like I will too. Anyways, Chonk, you were needing to go to bed?
Yeah, it's half midnight. I should
Yeah,
probably head
mate.
off to sleep.
Feel free, brother. Thank you so much for helping me out today.
It's all good. It's all good. Like I said, I will refresh your memory closer to next weekend about the whole D&D thing, because no doubt you'll forget.
And probably won't want to be up by 6.
Exactly.
But we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, it might be later. Like I said, that's what it was last weekend.
Sure.
Obviously, we've got to be careful because Lux goes to church, so it's after church.
Right. You're gonna head out as well? Alright, sweet as Elm. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, mate. God bless you. Hope you have a fantastic day.
Have a good rest of your stream, Neeks. Have a good rest of your day, chat.
Bye-bye,
and I will
Chonk.
catch you all later.
God bless you, mate. Good night. See you tomorrow, maybe?
Night. Maybe.
Bye. And he's gone, and I'm here by myself. Think of only yesterday. I was cheerful, bright, and gay. Looking forward to something. The role I was about to play. Okay. Strength. Yup. Lifting and carrying. Whoa, what? Oh, right. Rules of lifting and carrying are intentionally simple. Here's a variant if you're looking for more detailed rules. If you carry a weight excess of 5 times your strength score, you are encumbered, which means your speed drops by 10 feet. Okay. If you carry weight in excess of 10 times your strength score, up to your maximum carrying capacity, you are instead heavily encumbered, which means your speed drops by 20 feet, and you have disadvantage on ability checks. Okay. Attacking rolls and saving throws that use strength, dexterity, and constitution. Alright. Okay, so just role-playing. Okay. Dexterity check can model any attempt to move nimbly, quickly, or quietly, or to keep from falling on tricky footing. The acrobatic sleight of hand and stealth skills reflect aptitude in certain kinds of dexterity checks. Acrobatics. Okay. 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 Let me get back in here. There we go. Dexterity sleight of hand, sure. Okay. DM might call for a dexterity check when you try to accomplish tasks like the following. Stare a chariot around a right turn, pick a lock, set a traps, go tie up a prisoner. Okay. Dexterity, huh. You add your dexterity modifier to your attack roll and your damage roll when attacking a ranged weapon such as a sling or a longbow. You can also add your dexterity modifier to your attack roll and your damage roll when you're attacking the melee weapon and has a finesse probability such as a dagger or a rapier. Armor class. Depending on the armor you wear, you might add some or all of your dexterity modifier to your armory class. I don't understand that one. Initiative. At the beginning of every combat, you roll initiative by making a dexterity check. Initiative determines the order of creatures' turns in combat. Hiding. Oh. Discovered or stop hiding. That check's total is contested by the wisdom perception check of any creature that actively searches for signs of your presence. You can't hide from a creature that can see you clearly, and you give away your position if you make noise such as shouting, a warning, or knocking over a vase. An invisible creature can always try to hide. Signs of its passage might be noticed, and it does have to stay quiet. Sure, in combat, most creatures stay alert for signs of danger all around, so if you come out of hiding and approach a creature, it usually sees you. However, under certain circumstances, the DM might allow you to stay hidden as you approach a creature that is distracted, allowing you to gain advantage on an attack roll before you are seen. Sure. There's a chance someone will notice you even if they aren't searching. They determine whether such a creature notices you. DM compares your dexterity check with the creature's passive wisdom score, which equals 10, plus the creature's wisdom modifier, as well as any bonuses or penalties. If the creature has advantage, add 5 for disadvantage, subtract 5. For example, if a first level character, proficiency bonus of 2, has a wisdom of 15, plus 2 modifier, and proficiency of perception, he or she has a passive wisdom perception of 14. What can you see? One of the main factors in determining whether you can find a hidden creature or object is how well you can see in an area, which might be lightly or heavily obscured, as explained in Chapter 8. Ha! 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 Health, stamina, and vital forces, constitution. Okay. Because the endurance, this ability represents is largely passive. Rather than involving a specific effort to the part of the character or monster, a constitution check can model your attempt to push beyond normal limits. However, the DM might call for a constitution check excuse me, when you try to accomplish tasks like the following. Hold your breath, march or labor for hours without rest, okay, go without sleep, survive without food or water, quaff an entire stein of ale in one go, sure. That's funny. Hit points. Your constitution modifier contributes to your hit points. Typically, you add your constitution modifier to each hit die you roll for your hit points. If your constitution modifier changes, your hit point maximum changes as well. As though you had a new modifier from first level. For example, if you raise your constitution score when you reach the 4th level and your constitution modifier increases 1 to 2, blah, 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 blah. Lots of homework. Intelligence. Intelligence measures mental acuity, accuracy of recall, and the ability to reason. Understandable. Oh. Okay, history. History. Okay. Okay. Might deduce the location of a hidden object, discern from the appearance of a wound what kind of weapon dealt it, or determine the weakest point in a tunnel that could cause it to collapse. Okay, pouring through ancient scrolls in search of a hidden fragment of knowledge might also call for intelligence check. Okay, investigation check. Alright, yep. So it's just intelligence, sure. Okay. Item, pull together a disguise to pass as a city guard. Sure. Forge it, sure. Okay. Read body language, sure. Understand someone's feelings, notice things about the environment, or care for an injured person. Huh. Question whether you can calm down or a domesticated animal, keep him out from getting spooked, or intuit an animal's intentions. DM might call for a wisdom check. You also may have a wisdom animal handling check to control your mount when you attempt a risky maneuver. Okay, cool. Insight. Your wisdom insight check decides whether you can determine the true intentions of a creature, such as when searching out a lie or predicting someone's next move. Doing so involves gleaning clues from body language, speech habits, and changes in mannerisms. Wisdom check lets you try to stabilize a dying companion or... Okay. Medicine. Sure, but I suppose you'd need the medicine first, wouldn't you? Perception. Your wisdom perception lets you spot, hear, or otherwise detect the presence of something. It measures your general awareness of your surroundings and the keenness of your senses. For example, you might try to hear conversations through a closed door, eavesdrop. Okay, sure. Eavesdrop under an open window, or hear monsters moving stealthily in the forest. Or you might try to spot things that are obscured or easy to miss. Whether they're orcs lying in ambush on the road, thugs hiding in the shadows of an alley, or candlelight under a closed secret door. Right. Okay. Oh, sure. Spells they cast. Sure. Charisma. Yeah, charisma. That's me. Charisma measures your ability to interact effectively with others. It includes such factors as confidence and eloquence. And it can, Charisma check might arise when you try to influence or entertain others, when you try to make an impression or tell a convincing lie, or when you're navigating a tricky social situation. Deception, intimidation, performance, and persuasion skills reflect aptitude in certain kinds of charisma checks. Okay, deceptions. Charisma check determines whether you can convincingly hide the truth, either verbally or through your actions. This deception can encompass everything from misleading others through ambiguity to telling outright lies. Typical situations include trying to fast talk a guard, con a merchant, earn money through gambling, pass yourself off in a disguise, dull someone's suspicions with false assurances, or maintain a straight face while telling a blatant lie. Sure. When you attempt to influence someone through overt threats, hostile actions, and physical violence, a DM might ask you to make a charisma intimidation check. Look at Wild Wild West. Hey, where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, please. I forgot to replay it. Continue playing it. Oh, right. Yeah, that does happen. I forgot about that. Oh, well. Sure. Sure. Other charisma checks the DM might call for a charisma check where you try to accomplish tasks like the following. Find the best person to talk for news, rumours and gossip, blend into a crowd and get the sense of key topics of conversation. Spellcasting ability. Bards, paladins, sorcerers and warlocks use charisma as their spellcasting ability, which helps determine the saving throws DCs of spells they cast. Sure. Also called a save, it represents an attempt to resist a spell, a trap, a poison, a disease, or similar threat. You don't normally decide to make saving throw, you're forced to make one because your character or monster is at risk of harm. To make a saving throw, roll a d20 and add their appropriate ability modifier. For example, use a dexterity modifier for a dexterity saving throw. Saving throw can be modified by situational bonus or penalty, can be affected by the blah 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 blah. Wizard, for example, blah 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 blah. The difficulty class for saving throw is determined by the effect that causes it. For example, the DC for a saving throw allowed by a spell is determined by the caster's spellcasting ability and proficiency bonus. Sure. The result of a successful or failed saving throw is also detailed in the effect that allows the save. Usually, a successful save means that a creature suffers no harm or reduced harm from an effect. Sure. What is this song? Okay. Hey. There we go. Okay. Time. Okay, what does it say about time? Oh, hello, sword shield lady. That's a druid, right? I don't know. In situations where keeping track of the passage's time is important, the DM determines the time a task requires. A DM might use a different timescale depending on the context of the situation at hand. Under the environment, the adventurer's movement happens on a scale of minutes. It takes them about a minute to creep down a long hallway, another minute to check for traps on the door at the end of the hall, good 10 minutes to search the chamber beyond for anything interesting or valuable. In a city or wilderness, a scale of hours is often more appropriate. Adventurers eager to reach the lonely tower at the heart of the forest may hurry across those 15 minutes in just under 4 hours' time. For long journeys, a scale of days works best. Following the road from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep, the adventurers spend 4 uneventful days before a goblin ambush interrupts their journey. In combat and other fast-paced situations, the game relies on round, a 6-second span of time. Oh. Interesting. Movement, swimming across a rushing river, sneak it, yep. Oh wow, okay. Sometimes it's important though to know how long it takes for you to get to... Oh, evil marksman, kia ora, my quest, a group of lizard men using hats of disguise. Okay, that's an item. To try to take over a small city's government, disappear the city's inhabitants, and open a secret meat market in order to feed their dragon overlord. The PCs stumble on the small port city after a long and hard quest and seek rest in the city. All the while, the city residents are seemingly disappearing without much reason. Conspiracy theories arise. Chaos ensues. Enjoy! Thank you, evil marksman. I appreciate that. Is that a story that you've that you've played through, or is that a story that you made as the DM? What's or did you just make that up right now? Because if you did, that's fantastic. I heard I've seen a similar one where it's one you would do, like to do one day. Yeah, that sounds fun. There was one that I heard that was rather similar where it was like fish people who were kidnapping people. I don't know. It was kind of similar, not really. Fun fact, it can be played from both sides. As the lizard men using hats of disguise to take over the small city's government. It could, but then you'd be evil people trying to feed people to your dragon overlord. Are you much of a fan of D&D there, Marksman? Makes a good one-shot. Yeah. I feel like a one-shot is going to be the only thing that I do as of current. Like, I'll have to just come up with a story and then just go for it. You know, go get the basic rules under my belt and then kind of just go for it. Every character and monster has a speed. Yep. Travel pace. Yep. Whatever. Okay. Amounts of... Oh, travel pace is beyond that. Limited the risk of exhaustion. But yeah, I do play some D&D. Sure. You like a lot? Have you played plenty of campaigns in the past, or have you played like plenty of one-shots, or one session? Because no matter how much you've played, it's more than me. Okay, but what does that mean though? It just means that more time is... It just means that more time is taken up. I don't know what that means. It just means that the time of day will be different later on. Just one ongoing thing at the moment. Sure. How long's that one been going on? Good long while. Just started. Special types of movement, climbing, swimming, and crawling. Blah, 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 blah. Strength determines how far you can jump. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, your strength... Right. Sure. Okay, so this is kind of stuff that was... Okay. This is all kind of stuff that was gone over earlier. More than likely a year or so now. Wow. I play on a virtual tabletop. Sure. That's kind of what I was thinking of doing as well. Activity while traveling, marching order. So do you like play it on like an app, or what? Just Zoom call or Discord or what? Because I'm trying to figure out like what my setup is going to be. Because I don't have anybody physically that would want to play. You know, I'd have to get people from online, and that's fine. I just got to kind of figure out if there's, you know, a game that we can all download for it. Or if we'd just have to get into a call and roll our dice there. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of boring, this part of the stuff. By its nature, adventuring involves delving into places that are dark, dangerous, and full of mysteries to be explored. The rules in this section cover some of the most important ways in which an adventurer interacts with the environment in such places. Sure. At the end of a fall, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet it fell. Sure. Maximum of 20d6. Oh, every 10 feet it fell. Sure. Creature lands prone unless it avoids taking damage from the fall. Sure. With a saving throw. Not with a saving throw. Yes, with a I don't know. Using the spell of flight or teleportate. I don't know. Creature can hold its breath a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its constitution modifier, minimum of 30 seconds. When a creature runs out of breath or is choking, it can survive for a number of rounds equal to its constitution modifier, minimum of 1 round. Start of its next turn, it drops to 0 hit points and is dying. It can regain hit points or be stabilized until it can breathe again. Creature with Constitution of 14 can hold its breath for 3 minutes. If it starts suffocating, it has 2 rounds to reach air before it drops to 0 hit points. Oh, wow. Oh, I see. Most fundamental task of adventuring: noticing danger, finding hidden objects, finding an enemy in combat, and targeting a spell. To name just a few, rely heavy on a character's ability to see. Darkness and other effects that obscure vision can prove a significant hindrance. Sure. Okay. So this stuff I get. Sure. Okay, so this is normal. Characters that don't eat or drink suffer the effects of exhaustion. Exhaustion caused by lack of food or water can't be removed until the character eats and drinks a full required amount. Sure, a food character needs 1 pound of food per day and can make a food last longer by subsisting on half rations. Eating half a pound of food in a day counts as half a day without food. Character can go without food for a number of days, equal to 3 plus his or her constitution modifier, blah 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 blah. Normal day. Okay, so this is all for campaigns. The character might decide to pull a lever, which might in turn raise a podcast. DC for any such check based on difficulty of the task. Character can also damage an object with a weapon, and spells objects are immune to poison and psychic damage, of course, but otherwise they can be affected by physical, magical attacks, much like creatures can. Sure. It's just role-playing, social interaction. Yeah, okay, whatever. Role-playing. Role-playing is literally the act of playing out a role. Yep. Approach to describe your character's words and actions for the DM and the other players, drawing on your mental image of your character. Tell everyone what your character does and how he or she does it. Yep. For instance, Chris plays Tordek, the dwarf. Tordek has quick temper and blames the elves of the Cloakwood for his family's misfortune. At a tavern, an obnoxious elf minstrel sits at Tordek's table and tries to strike up a conversation with the dwarf. Chris says Tordek spits on the floor, growls an insult at the bard, and stomps over to the bar. He sits on the stool and glares at the minstrel before ordering another drink. In this example, Chris has conveyed Tordek's mood and given the DM a clear idea of his character's attitude and actions. Sure. Okay, so that's just sure. If descriptive role-playing tells your DM and your fellow players that your character thinks and does, active role-playing shows them. Yeah, okay, whatever. Sorts of role-playing, DM uses character's actions to determine how the NPC reacts. Yep. Ability checks. Yep, persuasion. Yep, that's another charisma ability. I can roll that. Your role-playing efforts can alter an NPC's attitude, but there might still be an element of chance in the situation. For example, your DM can call for a charisma check at any point during the interaction if he or she wants the dice to play a role in determining an NPC's reaction. Other checks might be appropriate in certain situations at your DM's discretion. Rise on your best bonuses and skills. If the group needs to trick a guard into leading them into the castle, the rogue who is proficient in deception is the best bet to lead the discussion. When negotiating on the hostage's release, the cleric with persuasion should do most of the talking. Okay. Oh wow. At the end of the long day, character regains all of his lost hit points. Character also regains hit dice up to the number of dice equal to half the character total number of the minimum of 1 die. For example, if a character has 8 hit dice, he or she can regain 4 spent hit dice upon finishing a long rest. Okay, so this is all stuff that I already kind of knew. Adventure and combat, yup. Spellcasting spells. Okay, so this is kind of stuff I know. Legendary monster stat blocks, non-player characters. Oh my, what? Why are there so many subsections? Oh. Oh, okay. So that's just, okay, sure. I get you. My bad, sure. Non-player characters. The monster manual contains statistics for various humanoid non-player characters and NPCs that adventurers might encounter during a campaign, including lowly commoners and mighty archmages. Stat blocks can be used to represent both human and non-human NPCs. Customizing NPCs are many blah blah blah. Racial traits, yep, spell swaps. One way to customize the NPC spell is to replace one or more of its spells. Substitute any spell on the NPC spell list with a different spell of the same level from the same spell list. Swapping spells in the manner doesn't alter an NPC's challenge rating. Sure. Armor and weapon swaps. Magic items. Powerful NPC, the more likely it has one or more magic items in its possession. An archmage, for example, might have a magic staff or a wand, as well as one or more potions and scrolls. Giving an NPC a potent damage dealing magic item could alter its challenge rating. Sure, rah, 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 rah. Okay. Wow, jeez. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is just telling me all the stuff that I can, sure, all the different characters and all that. Okay, jeez Louise. I have gleaned a bit of information from today, but I do think that it's going to take a wee while more to kind of get everything out of this, but I don't think that I have it in me right now. I woke up quite early for a Saturday. And I'd rather just get back to this on my own time. I think I'm gonna go ahead and head off. Oh, actually, I want to keep that one open. Flip. Okay, well, I've lost that tab. That's fine. Easy enough to find. Okay. Thank you, Jesus, for today. Thank you, Lord, for today. Thank you, Father, for all the people who've come in to help me out and to tell me about their experiences in D&D. Flip. Thank you, Lord, for the incredible journey that I am going to embark on going down this road. Thank you, Lord, that you're going to be with us the entire time. Thank you, Father, that I'm now finished. And thank you, God, that I'm going to go ahead and raid check in with my 2 viewers. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, look, I can almost double his viewer count. That's amazing. With the 2. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure that the other person who's here is already there. So, let's go. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye. God bless you. I'm not going to do the verse of the day. Bye.